Hello, passengers. Hello, hello, hello. A message came over me yesterday, or either, I guess it was like Sunday night into Monday. So we're gonna, I'm gonna do this collective first, and then I'm gonna get on to the zodiacs. Okay. It was concerning currency and what's due to come regarding currency. This also ties into some of the readings that's on the channel. There's like those Hollywood readings are collective readings too. They have messages in there of how, you know, we'll all be impacted by certain things that take place. And so I remember talking about crypto and things like that. I feel like the first thing we're going to see is everybody, a lot of people will start to get approved for loans, credit cards, things like that. Credit scores are going to rise for everyone as well. A lot of people. And places that never really gave loans and stuff will start creating, you'll see these institutions creating all sorts of what do I want to call it? They're just going to create programs. I guess you could call it that, for lack of better terms. I'm not sure. But they're going to create programs to where they'll be loaning money, or, you know, or damn near really giving it away. The reason why they're giving it away is what I would call it, is because they're going to deplete the currency system. That's going to be their first step to start to include or bring in the way that we spend other forms of money, or that of which that represents the new currency. I'm hearing bandwidth is very airy again, so this could tie into all the, you know, the crypto messages that I used to get in other forms of that. I'm hearing there is going to be an easier way regarding how it's used. Like, it won't be where you're like having to really figure out the system or anything like that. Well, unless you, I would advise you to, you know, it's good to learn the mechanics behind things and how it works and why it started, how it started. So you could learn the loopholes and stuff with it. But regardless, like, it's about to get to the point where you're not really going to have to study much to engage or interact and know what to invest in and do all of that. We're going into a system, to me, it feels like what I'm seeing here, it do involve a lot of, like, oh, they just said swindling. I'm sure a lot of them will. But it's like all of these interconnected waves of currency. How do I explain it? Because it's going to sound almost like how it already is, but it's going to be more accessible to the masses, like more accessible to everyone. It's going to be, however they set it up, it's not going to be by choice that you own stocks and stuff like that. It's just going to be a part of your currency. The money that you make, the money that you spend, the money that you use to invent things or create things for people to invest and spend in you. It's just a lot of hand in hand going on with that. Okay, so let's see. So let's just get some collective readings. But that was the main message that I did definitely get very strongly. Okay, welcome to my newbies. Hello to my oldies. My name is Diamond, and you are watching Pretty Blind Eyes. The readings held on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The discussions held on this channel should not be taken as literal advice. I am legally blind, so I do read Braille on my cards to decipher what they are, but I'm an overall intuitive reader. In the description box below, you can find several ways to interact with me, one of which is the availability to book private readings. That calendar is open. Also, we have orientation registration coming up for psychic development here on September 13th. To those of you who would like to take up the course, there will be a self-paced one where you don't have to, you know, you can learn in your own way. And there will be a premium one where you could get the tutoring and things like that. We'll meet up on Saturdays. And if you want one-on-one tutorings, those will be on Wednesdays. And the first divination tool we're going to use is, or start with, will be the tarot. But you will be learning about your gifts and things in addition to that. And then we're going to do it again in the spring too. So if you're not ready this fall/winter, then it will come again in the spring. And there will be other options of things that you could try out that I'm offering as well. One of them is spiritual advisory, where you have me as your personal psychic on a month-to-month basis. And I have some packages designed for that. Both of these links are on the community tab. With the psychic advisory, just scroll all the way down to the bottom to see all your payment options, because all you're going to see at the top is the premium package. But there are cheaper ways and routes to paying for it, or whatever you want to do. And then with the other one, that's free. Just sign up. Just get your name on the list if you want to, if you're interested. It doesn't matter. You can always change your mind, but just get your name on the list so I can know how many people I'm working with, so I can like construct the groups accordingly. Okay. Thank you guys for all the love, support, gifts, donations, journeying with me in patience. All right. Collective messages for the passengers. My babies, my babies, my babies. About to be really, really fully with y'all. I promise. Okay. Like the good old days. Right. Okay. General messages for the collective. What we got here? I'm hearing silent prayers. Okay. Two of Swords, Lover's card, Ace of Cups. Let me see. High Priestess, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, King of Wands, High Priestess. Okay, so Ace of Swords. I feel for the collective here, because I'm hearing sun gods and things like that. This is giving me a lot of militant energy. This is a lot of army, ground energy, and a lot of naval energy. So we're talking ships and ground. So we're talking Navy and Army and Marine, perhaps, or maybe, I guess. But what this is, to me, it looks like stomping the ground. I think I mentioned this, probably in where did I mention it? Did I mention the military? No, that was with a friend. Sorry, I channeled, but it wasn't publicly. So basically what I did see is even a guy, I don't know how many of y'all know about the guy that was on TikTok that said he's seen these militant-like alien black tall guys get out of this cigar-shaped UFO, in which they don't call them that anymore. I told y'all, like, we are already at war, but no one, y'all, like, it's the unseen. It's like a lot is going on. So even these moments where you see Trump sending out National Guards and you're just like, why is he sending them out across the nation in our states and stuff? I'm telling y'all would be shocked. I'm about to cry. If y'all could just simply look, like, let me put it in a perspective. Like if you were to simply go outside and look up, and you know how usually you look up at the clouds and you're like, it's going to rain today. It's a lot more going on, like up there. You know what I'm saying? Or more so when we're talking the way that you access those realms, right? There's a lot going on. There are, we're more barricaded than you think. I'm hearing perimeter. So a lot of our states are already perimeter. Let me give you another example. So you know how usually on the ground level, they will like shut states down where you can't leave in and out of the state. You can't cross the line for some form of population control. It is that, but it's in the air. They're like marking it in that way, and everything is I'm hearing monetary, like, and I am seeing convoys and things like that. Like, y'all, we are right in the eye of it. We're right in the middle of it. We are. And so a lot of people that's having these UFO sightings and stuff like that, and it's because there's fighting forces here, but it's not like how we think, right? It is very, to a human, it would be cerebral, right? But I guess in a psychic's perspective, or anybody that like can tap in on a higher frequency, it's in the headspace. And I know that doesn't make sense, but it's the same thing happening, but at an upper level within the mental, like within the mind. It's like, I can't, there are no words to describe it. So the way that this is impacting you is more so, it's a mind thing. And that it's like if you were to be able to pull your mind from yourself, take it, train it, and send it off to war, or take it and operate in your day to day. It's not you, your body, this earth or this ground, but your mind is the one that's like, as if it was your body, and you was to hear that, hey, they're fighting on our grounds or whatever, and then you find in shelter and all that. That's what it is. But it's your mind in that operative state that's like looking for shelter or protection. And a lot of this like acid buildup, and let me see what else was one of those symptoms, like sleeping a lot. A lot of times too, there is something enromeric, I don't know what I'm hearing, something meric gases. There is something being released into the air that's causing us to be sleepy, because again, I'm hearing sleepy hollow. this is because of everything that's going on, and they're dealing with a lot of the minds, all of our minds, our psyches. And we are thinking we're just operating on a day-to-day basis in our human bodies, just living our regular lives. But a part of you is very active in other realms, because you are being impacted in that way. But a lot of people won't feel it or see it. And then the ones that's like really tapped in and experiencing these awakenings and stuff, you are. And at the top of the line, or the front of the line, in between, what I see here are the messengers. So these would be like your content creators. Everything I told y'all was the bridge. Those are your messengers. And then it's like I'm seeing the structure of it and what it looks like. And the messengers look like they could rise up, go back down, right? You know, they're like the runners too, as well. And the guardians and the messengers. Yeah. And so it's here. We're here. I'm here in Abrupt by November. I used to get this energy for November, but it was last year. But, you know, let's see. Because I also still feel like there are some military, like there are some militants that already started getting trained last year. These are the ones that still gone, that got deployed last year, that's still gone. That's why. Eventually it is going to come to the ground. Like some of it is already on ground level. But what it's going to look like is they just look like statues and stuff. Like the type of training that they're doing, or that they're training them for, is again to guard perimeters, to make all of these shapes, or these symbolic shapes, where like if you were to rise and get a bird's eye view of the Americas, or just at least North America, or the United States of America, you would see a level of communication that's happening due to the formulation of the positioning of these militants. Another great example I could give you is if you've ever been to like a football game, and if you notice, a lot of people, especially in the South, when the marching bands would come, they go all the way to the top. Why? Especially band fanatics, because you get to see the real art of it. A lot of people don't know this, but when they are moving around on the field like that, they're not giving you like a 3D, like a ground level view of choreography. They're not just marching around the field, letting everybody shine, like, oh, the drum line about to come up, or oh, now the trumpets are moving over here, or they're marching. They're not doing that just to let you see choreography from a ground level. If you go up above, you're going to see them. And a lot of you, if you've seen drumline and stuff, you know what I mean. Like this one, like, let me tell y'all, this was dope. Like when that song, I'm riding spinners, they don't stop. There was, I can't remember what band it is. It might have been NCCU, North Carolina Central, what is it? North Carolina Central University. Yeah, the Eagles. They one time created a damn car. I think it was a truck, like a box shaped one though, of course. And the wheel, like they made it so like one outside was the tire, and then the people in the middle was moving, like marching in a circle to make it look like spinners, y'all. It's an art to that. And I'm saying all that to say that that's another form of communication in some sort of way. And it's putting me in the mind of the pyramids, and you know how we're always fascinated with how they were formed, and how us as humans, with what we have now, weren't able to build such of a thing, or the architecture of it and how it's constructed. But what I will say is all of that do tie into that. Like a lot of things that we do that's like really cool and stuff like that is like this eternal knowledge of things that's already inside of us, that we do pull, or we have done before. You know, we've done all this before. And so if you were to get curious enough, they're showing Babylon too. Y'all know the story about how they tried to build a stairway to heaven to, they tried to build a stairway to heaven, and then somebody could like give the full story in the comments if you like. But, and then he changed all their languages so they couldn't communicate to continue to keep building the stairway up. It puts me in the mind of the tree of knowledge as well. Like we always be doing that. Like, and this time though, y'all know what it is. It's the technology. This time, that's that stairway to heaven of us not getting hopefully not getting too out of control with it, where something will hit and cause a division where we can't come together, like use what we have to come together to expand or be bigger. So there is, once these militants hit the ground and they start getting on these borderlines, it's going to be a form of communication to whoever's up there that's getting the bird's eye view of things. It's like Morse code, for lack of better term, and it's like the oldest thing ever. But it's like smoke signals, if I had to name it something else. Morse code, just codes in general, that kind of thing. And that's what, once we start seeing them hit the ground and stuff, it's a form of communication they will be doing. They're being trained to be very, I don't know if this is the word, but they're saying statuous, but I was going to say they're going to just stand there like statues. And that's the first of it is the National Guard. Listen to the name. Listen to the name. National Guard, right? Five of Swords. Let me see. Five of Swords with the Four of Wands and the Ten of Wands. And I see my prediction came in. So anybody want to, and I'm going to post it on the community tab, but anybody want to go back and watch the reading titled Trump Working with Black Women. There's other stuff in that title too, but that's here too. I seen it yesterday. It's some women in Chicago. That's a group, an organization who requested to ask Trump to send the National Guard their way too in their community. They do stuff in their community in Chicago. They do like different things. But when they heard about him doing this, they asked if they could have some. So he went down to speak to them. And in that reading, I remember saying it would start off small. It would start with a particular like group or like this one woman or something. And then it's going to expand out. Does it have significant meaning? I'm going to be honest. No, not really. But is it, I don't know. I think for myself, I just thought it was dope because when I made the title and stuff, I'm like, this is the most random title ever. Like, why would I name it that? And now it makes completely sense. And I mean, complete sense. And now, this is what we're seeing. There is a lot of DC energy for the rest of this year. Anybody travel there, you're going to feel a difference in all of that too. I do see, this is very interesting. It looks like a Masonic hall could catch fire as well. And I'm hearing something about the Library of Congress as well. There is this physical representation of it, but most of the information is already what we would, it's something relative to the Akashic records, like the Hall of Records and stuff. But, they're showing Mount Rushmore and stuff. So again, just upgrades. And like when we're thinking Fort Knox and Mount Rushmore, the founding fathers, all this stuff is coming in. They're getting ready for the return. I'm gonna just be honest. That's what this is. Page of 2028 to 2032. Okay. All right. Page of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles. So it's just, I don't want to laugh, but when I'm thinking about even the currency too, like they're just like, see, we've been giving them money. We've been letting them do this and do that. They're just going to be trying to, this is just like divine masculine reading when I said, like, they'll be running around trying to clean things up like they never did anything. Like, when a kid have a house party and shit, when the parents gone. And that's the example I used in my abduction storytime collective reading message thing. Yeah. And then if y'all want to check that out too. To those of you who just found me, just scroll on down. I think I'm going to make a playlist so y'all can locate the collective readings more easier. Okay. So Chariot card with the Fool card here. I also feel like we will see the first Jetsons looking vehicle very soon too. This is what I just seen with this Chariot card. And this is so funny because this is what my emoji look like when I get my membership back for YouTube. Like when I work my way back up to that, I have an emoji. It's I call it the PBE mobile, the space whip. And it looks just like, and it's crazy. So I guess I probably was channeling something ahead of time. It's gonna kind of resemble the Jetsons thing. It's a flying car that's about to be released too as well. All right. Yeah, I'm hearing, and they might call it the hydroplane or something, or I heard hydroplane. So, and they're, testing a lot of these things out too. So some of the things that people are seeing are advanced features of technology that the government, CIA is operating. But I'm not going to just say it's them, but to give y'all an idea, they have a whole organization and different name and subdivision. They're under an umbrella, but let me put it like this. Like, let's say they're under the umbrella of the government / CIA, right? Then if you were to create a trust fund type thing, it's like a program in that. Like almost like how we found out NASA really isn't you would think NASA was like of the government. It's not. They're their own private entity or institution. Okay, that operate these. So because they can get that's the loophole. That's one of the loopholes to freeing yourself in the system and breaking the system, breaking the codes. Okay, is what you do is you're always going to be under an umbrella, but you find different ways to separate yourself from the system. And the way you do that is you create categories, and then you go within those and form your own movement and get your backing, and then it becomes legitimate. And you can make your own rules and all that kind of stuff. Certain things do still have to be operated under that big umbrella, but usually, like when you think about a trust fund, a lot of that is like protected. It's more private. And they didn't make that stuff for no reason. It's whoever has access to that knowledge that benefits from it. Empress card with the Six of Pentacles, that it's all about when it comes to us versus them. It's there for us legally too. But again, knowledge is power. And awakening is even more powerful, and being open to that awakening is even more powerful, and even utilizing your knowledge once you've opened yourself up to that awakening is eternal, right? It's the ultimate life experience. Empress card here, right? Empress card with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. And they're also guarding, there are going to be particular women. So this goes right into the Trump stuff I was talking about. I ain't saying everybody, there are like divine feminines, but there must be, if there's even one in that group, that's why these militants are being sent there too. Because I'm seeing here that's why they're guarding they're going to be monitoring, guarding these state lines as well. There's protection here around divine feminine energy. So that's another reason why in the divine feminine reading now, it shows where divine feminine is going to want to be on the ground a lot more. I do feel that there could be some trouble with certain women trying to travel. There could be some news that will come out that's going to be kind of weird about women all of a sudden getting denied or having troubles with airfare, like traveling in the air. The only way, like certain way, like I can't even say that yet. I'm going to wait on that. I need more clear information on that. But guess what? Because I'm seeing an airport right here that's government property. There's a lot of surveillancing that's happening, guys. That's why these sightings, these UFO sightings, abductions, and all that kind of stuff is like at an all-time high. All right, Three of Wands with the Star card. The Three of Cups. We're going to see renovation, a lot of renovations on government properties as an excuse. Like it's going to be their way of like keeping us in like keeping things delayed or keeping us in space without scaring us, in a sense of, oh, we're locking it down, and they have to explain why. So what they'll do is, what I'm seeing here is they're going to start renovating the airports and stuff, like anything like this government owned. So even your courthouses and things like that. All right, Eight of Cups. Queen of Cups, Five of Cups. Y'all know what I just heard? They're looking for the one with the baby. So this reminds me of that dream I had, I think in 2022. I'm getting a lot of 2022. I was running through this field. I was pregnant, and I knew these people were looking for me because I was pregnant, like the baby I was carrying. So I think, again, there's going to be this mass movement. It's around women. It's to differentiate it's to identify the divine feminines, basically, is what we're getting here. Point of access. A lot of them won't have airfare issues, is what I just saw, because a lot of them moving around shifts energy on the earth. They're going to let them go. They're going to let them move around because they're looking for them. They need to, they're shutting things, they're going to shut shit down, Lord. They're going to shut things down to be able to find them too. All right. And this may sound dramatic and everything, because it will be dramatic, because it's not going to be, it doesn't feel like it's going to be just exactly that on the ground. I'm telling you, it's going to be in the mind. Like, they just said noise, but I'm trying to say Nine of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Also, in addition to this, I mentioned this before in my abduction attempt story time. There's going to be, again, an all-time high of possession. So there's going to be a rise in needing deliverers. So those who could perform exorcisms and things like that as well, because our minds are being open. Like it's almost like surgery is happening too, or could be like having an open cut or something that's dangerous, something get in there and it cause an infection kind of energy. Is that kind of vibe. Okay. So yeah, Queen of Pentacles. So again, the line of work that's coming in for Divine Feminine is just what I was getting in 2023, when it's like the FEMA of spiritualism here, where you're going to have all of these psychologists, counselors, people like that going out. They're the only ones that's going to get to move in and out of these state lines, like nurses and things like that. Essential care employers, But I feel like it's bigger than that. But I'm just saying, or naming like something that's as grounded as possible for us all to stay plugged into the energy and really connect with what's about to happen or what's been going on. Okay, guys. Well, there you go. My name is Dami. You're watching Pretty Blind Eyes, and I'll see you next go around. Bye.